Would you like to work closer to home, save money on gas, and be rewarded for your hard work and attendance? Then Bellisio Foods is looking for you. That's right, Bellisio Foods is now hiring for multiple positions and shifts with great employee benefits, an on-site health clinic, competitive wages, and advancement opportunities. Bellisio Foods is a company that truly values their employees. Apply online at belisiofoods.com/careers.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the morning show right here on Main Street TV. And of course, we have our good friend and neighbor to the north, this way, Charlie Hudson, of course, Wellston Mayor. And we want to thank you for being here this morning because you have some really cool stuff to talk about.
Well, thanks, Jennifer. It's always a pleasure to be on with you folks. And I wanted to come down and talk about some of the things that are going on in town. And I haven't been here for a while. So the first thing I want to talk about is the potential entertainment center amphitheater that we are applying for a grant.
Cool stuff.
Because the reason I bring it up first is because we need public support in the form of letters, emails, that sort of thing. But let me go back and start from the beginning.
Okay.
One of the projects that we kicked off about 2.5, 3 years ago was at our rec league ball fields, and that was started out as $1.4 million grant. Now it's up to 1.8, and that came from ODNR, mine reclamation grant.
Yes.
One of the things that the pandemic has done for us is it's flooded a lot of these agencies with cash. So the ODNR's funding, I think it quadrupled this year for mine reclamation.
Wow.
And since Wellston is built on underground mines and surface mines, and
home of the coal festival, right? That makes sense.
Our whole city is basically pretty much under mine.
Yes.
We got an idea that what can we do to help with tourism? I mean, that's always been my thing, is that we're poised for tourism like no other area in the state.
Absolutely.
Because of all the hills and valleys and all those things.
It's gorgeous
Hocking
here.
Hills, yeah. So we thought, well, what can we do that no one else is doing right now? This money's available, and we decided an amphitheater entertainment center for outdoor entertainment. This project will be on the Kuppenheimer factory, which we called the Pants Factory lot.
The Pants Factory.
Across near Fire Station number 2. We sent a letter of intent in with an amount. They came back and said, why don't you triple that amount and apply? I said, well, okay, I can always do that. So this project is upwards of $3 million to do this.
Holy moly.
Mindy Eisnagel has been on point to secure the application and the funding for this. And she found a city that's down near Cincinnati on the Ohio side across from Kentucky that built one in their town. They were gracious enough to give us their plans and everything they've done. So we're ahead of the game on that. We have the property. The city already owns it, about 4 acres.
Sure.
This facility will probably seat close to 1,000 folks, and it will be for obviously concerts, plays, anything outdoor. It'll have its own sound system, so people won't have to truck things in.
Sure.
It'll be a covered venue for the bands and things, so if there's inclement weather, they can still set up. But the nice thing about the mine reclamation grants is they are 100% funded grants. Most grants that cities get require a match. If it's $1 million project, you get $500,000 a grant, $500,000 the city has to come out of pocket.
You got to match that.
Yeah. This is 100% funded grant, just like the ballparks.
Holy moly.
And I think we have a pretty good shot because this is the only facility like this south of the amphitheater in Chillicothe where they do Tecumseh.
Yes.
And I think that's got limited use, and pretty much is Tecumseh, and now they're switching over to some Halloween theme. But this will be open. The city will own it, so it'll be for concerts, there's a lot of musicians around here, and there's always different people looking for venues. And we think that but whether country or rock or gospel or whatever, I think these people they can use it for all kinds of outside events because we have enough property that we should be able to have keep it busy all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. Fairs, festival. I
Yeah.
mean, any kind of fun
Yeah, I mean,
stuff like that.
the Cult Festival, they pay to bring in a stage, the grand, and the seating and things like that. So this is something that they could just sort of migrate across the street and use if
Yeah.
they wanted to.
Now, is this property, just I'm trying to get it in my head, is it kind of over in like the Fruits Pharmacy vicinity?
It is would be west of that. There's a big open parking lot across from the depot with a big paved lot and grass. That's where Kuppenheimer's set.
Okay, so right by the depot.
Yeah,
then.
right. Yeah, across the 2nd Street from the depot,
Okay.
just south of it. Yeah, and there's about 4 acres there that we can use to develop this.
Okay, I see. I know where it's at. Okay.
Yeah. So,
great.
which will be just a natural flow from that area over if they want to do festivals and things like that.
Sure.
So, we're pretty excited about it. You know, I've had some detractors. Well, why would you want to spend your money that way? Well, it's not our money. And the thing with grants is that you have to use them for what they're dedicated to. Would I rather have $3 million and put in a new water tank? Probably, but I can't. That's not part of what you can apply for the grant for.
Well, and I think that the question is why not? Because if Wellston doesn't get the money, somebody else is going to.
Someone else is going to. Yeah.
Why would you not accept it and do something really, really cool that we'll probably never have the opportunity to do ever again?
And that's what we're trying to do with all of our projects is that, you know, do I think some of this money is going to waste? Yeah, it probably is in some projects, but
that's all subjective.
It's once in a generational thing.
Absolutely.
So we're applying for that, and hopefully we'll get approval on it, and if we get approval on it, then we'll move forward. To support us, folks can drop me an email at chudson@cityofwellston.org. They can send a letter to the city building on Broadway Street. They can stop by the office and drop off letters of support, because it is important that the community support these projects.
Yeah.
It shows that it's just not a bunch of politicians asking for money, that it's something the community wants. And you don't have to be a citizen of Wellston because this is going to be a regional thing. If we get an amphitheater and we fill it up, all your hotels are in Jackson.
Absolutely.
You know from owning a restaurant before that a lot of people come in from out of
your baseball fields. Fill the restaurants.
Absolutely, restaurants and hotels, and so it lifts up the whole economy.
Absolutely.
So it is a regional thing, and that's one of the things they look for with these grants, because it's not only mine reclamation, but it's also impact to the economy, regional economy. So I think that fits nicely with our push to try to encourage tourism, whether it's extending the bike paths or the ball fields, and this is just another venue. I know with this grant there's folks trying to develop Broken Arrow, if you know where that old strip mine is. It's a couple thousand acres near Berlin Crossroads, and they're applying for a big grant for an outdoor hiking trails, ATV trails, those sort of things. So all that sort of fits together because it's all right here. So we think it's important for the region to try to capture as many folks coming south from Logan and Hocking Hills on bringing on through. I know Vinton County is working hard to get them to come farther south, and we're going to continue to work hard as well to bring them on farther south.
Yep.
So,
I look at it as the, when I lived in Columbus and went to college and things, there was Columbus, and then Jamie went to Ohio Wesleyan, which is in Delaware, and that was completely two different areas. Mm-hmm. Well, now they're
together.
One area.
Yeah.
And it didn't take very long for that to happen.
Right.
Columbus and Delaware are all the same now.
Right. Oh, absolutely. And then once they get that Intel chip plant put together,
it's all going to go.
And the average salary at that plant is going to be $100,000.
Correct.
There's going to be a lot of trickle down jobs coming to smaller areas like us, hopefully for us. But one of the things that you do to lure people to your area is you have to have activities and things for folks to do. We've talked about that before, is that if there's nothing to do, people aren't going to live here. So,
and you're exactly right. I was just having this discussion with my niece last night, who is moving back here. She's having a baby, so she's moving back here from Seattle.
Wow.
So little bit of a culture shock. Her husband's a city guy, so a little bit of a culture shock. But she and I were having this exact conversation last night about how she's like, I'm so glad you guys are expanding the brewery. Like, there's all these things going on in this area that gives me hope that I'm, it's not going to be such a change for us to when we move back here.
Sure,
And this is what we do to get young people back here.
They can be part of the change because they're the generation that's going to take it to the next level. You build the foundation and let them run with it, and that's our hopes, and that's what we're trying to do. And so that's that project. A couple other things we're working on is we have 2 water plants in Wellston. One serves General Mills primarily, and the other one's the North Plant's over 100 years old. I was told that back when they built one in the North Plant, they didn't treat the water; they just pumped it out of Raccoon Creek and sent it straight to the homes. I'm not sure if that's accurate or not, because it was built in the late 20s, early 30s. So it's quite
you got water; it's fine.
Well, especially since I'm not sure what Handon put their sewer system in because before it dropped into the creek. Anyway, one of the things that we're looking at, again, there's a ton of money out there, is looking at building one new water plant.
And have it all combined into,
and, this is a very big project. It's a almost $25 million project.
Whoa.
And we'll fund it through USDA grants and low interest loans. The loans will be paid back by the gains we get from combining the 2 plants and the efficiencies of the modern technology.
Wow.
Because these plants are very old, they use old technology. It was really difficult to find a level 3 operator. Every water plant has to have a level 3 operator. We thought we had a guy until he walked into our plant. And he said, "I don't even know what this is," and he wouldn't take the job. So yeah. So you got a guy.
It's our plant. What do you mean?
A motor quits working, they take a wrench and bang on it or something. I don't know. So that will be one of those things that will last beyond my great grandkids, because these plants will last for 100 years once they're built. And if we get that off the ground, and we should know about that within the next few weeks, that's a very big project. Probably the biggest project I'll do while I'm mayor is that.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And then, of course, we're paving roads and doing all that stuff that we're supposed to do. I think the last thing I want to talk about, and then you can ask me about anything else, is that we have I'm on the Senior Board of Aging, and we have an operating levy coming up. And I want people to understand, and I've gone around and talked to folks in Wellston about this. This operating levy is to keep feeding seniors and transportation for doctors and things like that. It has nothing to do with building a building. They fail. A levy failed for a building, a new building.
That was a separate thing.
That was a totally separate thing. This is a continuing levy. It's not a replacement. So as property taxes are being reevaluated this year, the property taxes typically will go up.
Yes.
But this is a renewal. So that means
your taxes don't change.
Your taxes on that one will stay. If you do a replacement, then it goes up as property taxes go up. But this is just a renewal, so it won't change anything. And I know that we feed a couple hundred people a day, and they drive over 50,000 miles. And it just what they do down there out of that facility they have is amazing. Do they need a new facility? Yes, but this has nothing to do with that.
This is just maintaining daily-to-day
This is being
operation.
able to help feed seniors, get them to doctors, provide transportation, and if we don't take care of our seniors, shame on us.
Yeah, right. So, we deserve what we get if we aren't taking care of our seniors.
I've got 2 groups that I really care a lot about. One, seniors, and the other are kids.
Sure.
And everyone else can fend for themselves.
Yeah, right. So 100%.
Yeah. So this is really important to Wellston community. I don't know if you saw my Facebook post, but we played chair volleyball downtown against the city versus the seniors. Those people are mean.
They're sassy.
They are. These little old ladies and stuff just give me all trash talking and stuff, and I'm like, what the heck? So we
Somehow I could see that.
They're very active up there in the Wellston community, and I love them. So we need to get out and support that. So.
And rarely am I ever out on my day-to-day travels that I don't see some kind of, senior transport going somewhere, whether it'd be doctors or hair appointments or whatever it is. It's very needed.
It absolutely, and we take people all the way to Columbus.
Yes, I always pass the vehicles on the way to Columbus.
Yeah, so and they do a good job of managing their money over there. But people get a little confused about the issues, but this is not to build a building. This is to just keep the operation running.
Yeah, and again, this is not something that's going to make your and people get confused about replacement and renewal and whatever. Your taxes, I mean, you won't know a thing. Like it will just maintain the same and also keep the senior centers running, and that's the main thing.
That is absolutely the main thing, because they are a
Food.
needed facility.
Yeah.
This is the only county where the county doesn't control the seniors, the operation of senior centers. This is the only one that does that.
Really?
The other counties, it all falls underneath the county commissioners. This is an independent board, a nonprofit LLC or nonprofit corporation, I think, not an LLC. This is the only county that does that, and that's probably why we have 3 senior centers, is because that's the way it was established.
And correct, but I think having those 3 senior centers is so important because it's not easy for someone from Wellston to go to Oak Hill, or for everybody to end up in Jackson as the center or whatever. Like that's a lot.
Well, and that age group is, as I'm often reminded, is the age where Wellston was here, Jackson was here, and then the two shall not meet.
Yeah, right.
So
they were fighting underneath the bleachers at the Jackson Wellston game, weren't they?
Absolutely. There, you still have that mindset of that generation, which is fine. I mean, that's fine. But I just don't think that would be a success. What would happen, I think, if we close those centers, which we never will, as long as I'm active and available to help, would be that all you would end up being is a cafeteria and transportation thing. And I know the Wellston, I haven't spent much time in Jackson Center, but Jackson Center has painting classes and stuff, and they have their congregate meals. But Wellston get together all the time. They're there every day, and there's typically no less than 10, 15 people there every day. I'm not really sure how active Oak Hill is. I haven't been down there yet, but I think each one has its own niche, and we need to keep those open, and we plan on it. So absolutely,
and I agree with you 100% on that. Support the seniors.
Yep.
Okay, back to this amphitheater thing.
Yeah.
Obviously you're collecting letters of support, or you hope to, because if people from the community are supportive, then obviously the government's going to look at it and say, oh wait, okay, these people really want this down here.
Right.
What are some of I know economic development, things like that, but what are some of the upsides? Can you think of any downsides to this amphitheater that you've heard or whatever that we could address here to maybe calm people's fears?
The downside is, and I check Facebook every morning to see how I'm doing. People say, how are you doing? I haven't checked Facebook
I don't know, because they tell me, right?
But typically that's where we get the most comments from folks that don't want to meet you face to face.
They're keyboard warriors.
Most of the comments, or any of the negative or the questioning comments, were, okay, well, this is, one, you should use this money to open up a factory. And it's like, you can't do that, but we get past that, but it's just another thing that the city will have to maintain. And that is true. I mean, you're going to have to mow the lawn and stuff like that, but this facility will be fenced in, it'll be secure, so people can't just come and trash it or move in under the stage.
Correct.
Things like that. So you're talking about mowing some grass.
But it should also pay for itself.
And it should pay for itself. Absolutely. We are starting to talk about different things. We have a rec league managed by Make Wellston Beautiful now, and they do a fantastic job. And they were in the office because they heard that we were going to get rid of them the other day. And I said, unless you hear it from me, there's no truth. But we would like to see a rec department in the city, and then Make Wellston Beautiful could be a part of that, perhaps, because they do a good job there. But to take over that amphitheater, also we're building a campground on our own.
Yes.
Near the ball field. So
Which
we're
is
hoping
cool.
that'll generate revenue to take care and have basically a rec person from the city sort of oversee all these things to get the highest and best uses out of all these facilities that we can. So I would say, yes, we will have to maintain it if it's built, but the maintenance will be pretty low on it because it'll be a secured area, unlike a city park where people can just wander in and out. So I just think that's really the only downside. It takes away a piece of land that could be used for economic development a factory, if you will. But I've got another 4 acres right up the street that was the old frickin' Gallagher property that I'd be happy to.
I think that's the property I was thinking of when I asked you about that.
Typically, that's what people think about.
Yeah.
But the property that we're looking at building on already has a natural slope at the back, so less earthwork to move, and we need to mitigate some stormwater issues down in that valley anyway. So it'll sort of go hand in hand.
Sure.
So, yeah.
And why not let the government pay for it?
Well, some other government other than mine.
Yeah, right.
Yes, yeah. No, but yeah, absolutely.
And here's the thing. So, folks, again, like I said earlier, if Wellston doesn't get this money, somebody's going to get the money, and somebody's going to get the money for the same project or something similar to that. It's not going to go to build a factory. It's not going to. It's meant for what? It
can't go to build a factory.
No,
it can't.
It's meant for what you're using it for.
We can't pave roads. We can't put water lines in. We can't do any of that stuff. So. It has to go for what it's intended, and you can't even apply for it for those other projects. It's got to be something to reclaim mine land with an economic rider on it, and something that's to make it the highest and best use of that piece of property.
Okay, so. Love that. I just think there's so much music, there's so much talent in our area, there's so much need for venues of all different sorts, and you could bring, I guess I'm thinking big. You think big. I try to think big as well. And I love that about you.
I'm thinking about Woodstock.
There you go. I mean, no, like you do think big. You think, I'm not just talking about having like a person come and a few local people come. Like we're talking about, we could have a festival where people drive from different states and stuff to come and stay here.
Yeah, you can do a blues festival, a jazz festival. You do it for a weekend.
Absolutely, like a whole cool thing.
We're looking at possibly being able to actually show movies there too.
Oh, that would be fun.
So you'd have it wouldn't be a drive-in; it would be a walk-in, and you come in and you watch your movie and that sort of thing.
But you see that a lot of movies and stuff where communities have places where you can come and just put a blanket on the grass and just sit and hang out.
There'll be grass seating, there'll be some bench seating, stuff like that. So I just don't see why not.
Right.
Yeah. So I think it'll introduce some different music to different types of music. People that's never heard this kind of stuff before.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of cool to get like the Columbus Orchestra to come down or something cool like that. So
and bring people to our area that maybe wouldn't have a reason otherwise to and see the beauty of what we have to offer here and how nice our people are and all of that. So again, where do people send these support letters and when do they need to be in?
As soon as possible, and they can email me at chudson@cityofwellston.org with an email because that'll work, or they can send a letter or drop a letter off at the city building. It's 203 East Broadway Street, I believe. So
he doesn't know where he goes to work. He
I
just
know
goes
it's a big
there.
red brick building. It's very simple for me.
I just drive there. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I know it's there.
It's like, because what's your phone number? I don't know.
It's got a sign out front. It says Wellston City.
It says Charlie goes here.
Yeah, I go here. I got a little arrow pointing. So I drop a pin on my phone map.
Yeah, right.
So
well, very good. It sounds like I wish you could stay longer. I know you have a meeting to get to because you always have so many projects in the works. And again, I just want you to know how much I think the community appreciates your outside of the box and big thinking. Because we're a little community doesn't mean you have to think small.
Well, I got it. My service director, Anthony Brenner, Mindy Eisnagel, those folks really are driving the bus. I come up with an idea and I say, here, what about this? And they run with it. And
they make it happen.
I couldn't do any of this without them. They're working right now while I'm sitting on this chair BSing with people. I learned that a long time ago that it's the people actually with the boots on the ground, if you will, make it happen. So we have a really good team up there now.
Good.
So, yep.
Well, we're proud of you. We're proud of all the things that's going on in Wellston, and just came out of the Coal Festival or the whatever it is.
Ohio Days.
Ohio Hill Country.
Ohio Hill Country. That started as our centennial in 1973.
Yeah.
I was 40 then. No, I was in high school at that point, and it was such a cool event that they just started Ohio Hill Country, and I'm not sure who named it, but that became Ohilco. And actually, next year is our sesquicentennial, and be the 50th anniversary of that. But
the what?
Sesquicentennial. It's the 150th birthday from Wellston. So I thought about a takeoff on it as getting a Bigfoot outfit and call it the Sasquicentennial.
I like it.
So
He fits in so well here, James. We're all about Bigfoot here.
Yeah, are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I thought it is our 150th birthday, and will be next year for the
That's
city of Wellston.
exciting.
But it'll be the 50th rendition of the Ohilco, then transformed to Coal Festival, then the Coal went away, and then it's back to Hilco. Now. So
That's right.
It's hard to keep up.
Hey, we even have a beer for you at the brewery. It's
Perfect.
called Dank Squatch. It has
Nice.
Bigfoot on it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. We
So
can do that.
we're good.
Maybe I'll retire the Grinch costume and get a Sasquatch costume.
He's in. We're in, aren't we, James?
Right.
All
right,
I'm ready
I've
for
gotta run.
Mothman costumes this weekend.
Oh, Mothman?
Mothman.
Okay.
Yeah, have you been down there and seen that statue? That thing's a freaky looking
Yeah,
thing.
the festival's this weekend.
Yeah,
It is this
weekend?
It is an interesting thing to go to.
I feel like we need to go.
You should go. You should do live show.
Oh my gosh. Can you imagine?
All right, I've got to run.
Okay, I know
We
you do.
really appreciate
Thank you.
having me here. And anytime you want me to come back, I will
Okay.
make myself available.
Well,
Okay.
you know you're welcome
All right.
anytime.
Thank you. Y'all have a great day.
Be safe on your travels.
Thank you.
All right, and of course, Wellston Mayor Charlie Hudson, and we want to thank him so much for stopping by. Such a busy guy, and he is always willing to share his time with us, and we want to thank him for that. All right, let's head to the weather forecast, where it is looking absolutely gorgeous all the way through the beginning of the Jackson Apple Festival, beginning of your work week next week. And so the setup starts again on, I believe, Saturday morning. I could be wrong on that, but I think it's Saturday morning. But look at those temperatures today. Absolutely gorgeous with partly cloudy skies, highs of 78, lows of 57 today. Tomorrow, just a little bit warmer, highs of 83, lows of 57. And then Friday, just a hair warmer. Highs of 85, lows of 59. And boy, that's some good. If you can stomach it, that's good. Open your window sleeping weather.
It was cold last night.
Yeah,
got
it does
cold
get,
last night.
it gets a little chilly. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so just, don't get yourself sick or anything, but it does help when you open. It's nice to be able to open those windows for a change. So,
Yeah.
All righty. And our
Good
sweet
morning,
Dylan is
Rick.
here.
Yeah.
And our sweet James is here.
I am here and I am sweet. It's true. So what kind of show are we gonna do at this amphitheater?
Oh, I don't know.
That could be the home away from home for Main Street TV.
It could.
Live from the Wellston Amphitheater.
We'd
have an audience of thousands.
We could. And I'll tell you what, we will not sing or dance.
But Pete will sing Oklahoma.
Pete will sing Oklahoma.
And the Fighting Parrot song.
Yes. I will.
The pink flamingo or whatever it was.
I will show off
parakeets.
my galloping skills.
Yeah.
Like I did at the Apple Festival.
That'd be good.
And then, I don't know. What do you want to do?
Well, here's a thought. So on 98.7 FM, they got free beer and hot wings in the morning.
Yes.
You can pay those guys, and they will come do their show live from your community.
Uh-huh.
So we could have free beer and hot wings live,
and
live audience.
We could give them free beer and hot wings.
Or we could charge them for the beer and hot wings because we paid for their travel
we pay
expenses.
for their time. That's true.
I'm just kidding. They probably deserve
They
lunch.
probably deserve what they get, but
they probably deserve lunch. But yeah, I mean that's awesome. I mean, he mentioned like Tecumseh, that's a great venue, but it's not very versatile because the stage is permanent basically.
Well, and it's basically set up for that.
Yeah.
For what they do.
Yeah. I know they've tried to do some other shows there, and I think COVID really hurt some of the plans they had for that. But yeah, I mean it's not real versatile because it's nature. It's just, it's not a stage, it's earth.
It's built around.
Yeah. It's kind of out. And it is kind of remote too.
That too.
Yeah. That too. But yeah, that's exciting. Be interesting to see what comes of that.
It is.
Dylan, what
do you
do at the amphitheater? You're just gonna play Smash Brothers on the big.
I was gonna say, oh my gosh,
pretty awesome. You play Smash Bros on a giant amphitheater.
Yeah.
Maybe I could play that video you guys watched of my friend where he was late for school.
Yeah. These are all options.
See, you could do that though. Like I know we were being smart Alex about that, but like you could have a big gaming tournament on a big ginormous screen outside. Like how fun would that be?
It would be pretty fun.
There's not really a lot of local options for that kind of stuff, so that could be one. Yeah.
You have to wait until it gets dark, though. I guess that's kind of the catch for that sort of thing.
Well, you could just squint. It'd be fine. I think I see my guy up there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. Oh, where was it? I guess it was when we were on our way to North Carolina. We drove past like an old school drive-in theater.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I can't remember where it was, but I remember like doing a double take, like it was a drive-in movie theater.
Hey, cool.
Like, they still got one. Which, I mean, that is, a cool thing, but having to wait till 9:30 or whatever to start, that's kind of the catch of those places.
Yeah, it's like almost
and you got to listen to it through your crappy car radio.
Yeah. And you don't want to listen, you don't want to go when it's winter at 5:00. So it's like you don't want to sit in the car and freeze to death. So
yeah, run your battery down because you got the heater going full blast for 3 hours.
But no, drive-ins are fun and kind of nostalgic, and I wonder if at some point some of them won't come back into vogue just because.
Well, you see a lot of people are doing like backyard kind of style, like with the big inflatable screens and stuff like that, and just kind of a more like casual version of. I know Athens does a like movie in the park thing.
Yeah. Over
there on was that Stimson Avenue where like Sonic and KFC is. I don't know if they've done it recently, but they used to set up one of those big, inflatable screens, and they do like free summer movies there, do kids movies and stuff like
cool.
that.
Yeah.
So, it's not quite what it was back in the day, but keeping the spirit alive.
Still pretty neat stuff. So, and it is funny, like with technology, you're exactly right. The thought 50 years ago when people were probably going to lots of drive-in movies and things like that, of someone actually having an inflatable screen and a projector in their backyard that cost a couple $100 or whatever.
Or somebody having a 70-inch 4K TV. And
that just wasn't
it didn't
thing.
Exist.
It didn't exist. And so today, it with technology and whatever, it is getting a bit more interesting as far as things that you can do.
Yeah.
It's like, for example, pools are the same thing. Now everybody has like one of those above ground pools in their backyard.
Yeah.
And, it used to be city pools were a huge thing, which I think they still are, obviously, because they're social and all that. But it's like, the thought that everybody would have a pool in their backyard, except for me, because because Jamie's a tyrant.
He won't let you have a pool.
He just doesn't have to take care of it.
I wouldn't want to. I'm with him. I'll be honest. I'm on Jamie's side.
But it's but the thought that everybody basically has their own backyard pool now is just not something that you would have ever thought about years ago.
I just looked this up on a whim last night because I was curious. So when we took our vacation, we stayed in the little yurt, which is like a little cabin, right? And it had a hot tub. And I was so excited. I hadn't been in a hot tub in like a million years.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I wonder how like expensive those little inflatable hot tubs are. Those things are so cheap. They're like $300.
Oh, really?
Yeah, back in the day, if you wanted a hot tub, it's like this huge thing.
Thousands
you gotta have like plumbing installed and everything. It's like $300 on Amazon.
Yeah.
Like it may only last you the summer, but like
who cares?
Yeah, at that price, like who cares?
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm running out and getting one, but like.
But no, or it's a really good transition to see if it's something that you would actually use.
Yeah.
Because they all sound like a really good idea, and then.
Oh yeah. So same with an above ground pool.
Yes.
Seems like a good idea until you put all that effort into it. Man, this is a funny story. Talking about buying stuff like that online. One of my friends a couple of years ago, she decided she was going to get an above ground pool. And she ordered it from like online from like Walmart or Amazon or something like that. And it just, comes in a big box the size of this table or whatever.
Yeah.
And she forgot they had lived in a trailer and they just recently bought a house.
Okay.
And this was part of it. Like, oh, we've got a house now. We own it. We can do things like that. And she forgot to update her address on Amazon, and they delivered it to the trailer park. And you can probably guess that no one at that trailer park was willing to fess up that they had just gotten a free pool.
Oh, no.
So I think...
community pool at the trailer park, right?
So I think Amazon, took care of it for them, but yeah.
Oh, no.
Someone at that trailer park swiped their pool.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Well, and it would be kind of obvious what it was when it got delivered. So
Yeah, it probably had a picture of a pool on the side of it. And it was, a box the size of a small car.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So all of that.
Yeah. Man, speaking of small cars, I don't know who it is, but somebody in this office just got a new car that's not so small.
Are you talking about the Bronco?
Yeah, I'm talking about the Bronco.
Whose Bronco is that?
Whose new Bronco is that?
We need to know because
I need
is
a ride.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, that thing is dope.
It is. Yes, all of those words.
I don't know whose car that is. I've been trying to figure it out all week.
Who's driving the Bronco? We need to know.
Me and Jen need a ride in your new Bronco.
Yeah, whoever it is. It's red and it's a convertible. And
soft top convertible, yeah.
So I can remember like years and years ago seeing those things in movies, like the old school Broncos
I
that
remember
you could take
seeing,
the tops off of.
An old school Bronco in like a newsreel one time.
Yeah. You're so funny.
But yeah,
I hate you right now. But yeah, no, and I can always remember thinking, man, I love those things. And then when the new ones came out, I'm like, oh man. The funny thing is the old school ones cost probably about as much now as the new ones because they're so classic.
Yeah. The new ones are cool. And I like the sport version that's like the lower, more
entry. It's like
I think that's a nice looking vehicle too.
They are. And everybody that I've asked, of course, it gets to be a little controversial because, there's diehard Jeep people.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's, people that have the Broncos. But I will be honest with you, and I understand Jeep people are Jeep people, but like everybody that I have asked that owns a Bronco, like one of the new ones, they love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, they look really nice. Another thing I saw when I was in North Carolina, I saw somebody driving a brand new Defender Land Rover.
Yes.
I was like, that's what's up.
I don't know what those would cost, but they are bad A looking.
Oh, yeah. They start at like $60,000. Like
so cool looking though.
But yeah, those are, they're freaking tanks. But dude, that's a sharp vehicle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like you get noticed driving down the road in that.
Yeah, but if you know who just got the like burnt orange red Bronco,
beautiful,
sitting in our parking lot.
I feel like Dylan needs to go find out.
Yeah, Dylan, go investigate that.
Dylan, go investigate for us. Find out whose Bronco that is. Just ask everybody that you see.
All right.
You don't really have to do that, Dylan.
I think he should. He's going.
No, you don't have to do that, Dylan.
We can do it after the show then.
We'll figure it out. But yeah.
Fess up if it's your vehicle because you're going to have to take James and I on a ride.
Yeah, with the top down.
Or we'll just go.
Yeah, you can just drop the keys off. Yeah, we'll fill it up. Well, maybe not fill it up, but
we'll throw a couple dollars of gas in it.
We'll put $5 in it.
Yeah.
Like it's 1995.
Yeah.
$5 of gas money.
Yep. Hey, speaking of gas, I have a fun story.
Okay.
Jamie's going to kill me.
I thought about bringing it up, but I didn't know if you wanted to tell it. So what happened? So Jamie made a new friend at a gas station?
Jamie made a new friend at a gas station. He's going to kill me for telling this story, but it's too good not to tell. So we're down in Asheville, and we've been kind of just hitting, like we'd gone to lunch, and we'd hit like a couple breweries or whatever, and like we needed gas. And so pulled into a gas station there. And, Asheville is a very safe, town. You don't really think about much craziness going on or whatever. But anyway, so we're at this gas station. I was like, well, we're running around. We had Marley with us. I was like, I'm going to run in and get a few bottles of water so she can have a drink and we can have a drink and whatever. He was like, okay, I'll pump the gas. So I come back out and he's sitting in the driver's seat like this, like looking straight ahead. And I'm like, what are you doing? And he goes, is there a big SUV behind us? And I said, what? He's like, SUV. Is there still an SUV behind us? And I said, no, why? He was like, oh, thank God. And I was like, what happened? And he said this lady in this giant SUV pulls up and he's out pumping the gas. And she's like, excuse me, sir. And he is like, yeah. And she's like, you got any crack?
Excuse me, sir. May I have some more crack?
And he said, I thought she didn't just say that. So he said, I was like, what? And she's like, you got any crack? And he was like, no, I don't have any crack. And she's like, too bad. You sexy as hell.
I mean, if you sexy as hell and you got
You
crack,
sexy as hell.
it's a good way to.
And he's like, sorry, I don't have
It's a
any
good
crack.
way to end up with your mugshot in the newspaper.
Basically, yeah, kind of like
that.
the front page of the
That
Telegram.
lady,
If
yeah.
you would like to look at some other stuff like that.
Other mugshots.
But yeah, so it totally freaked him out. I was cracking.
It's so
I'm
funny.
laughing so
Yeah.
hard after he's telling me that because I'm just.
Yeah.
I'm like, the funniest thing is, we're like the most innocent looking, we're
Right.
driving our Dodge Durango.
Yeah.
Like innocent looking. We got our white dog,
You're looking
our yellow lab dog.
You're
like,
looking like that. Have you seen that movie, We Are the Millers?
yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great
They probably
movie.
thought that's what that sort of
Maybe.
scenario. Yeah.
I'm like, do we really look like we have crack? Like, really? I think she was more interested in him than the crack. I don't know, but yeah.
I don't know.
Pretty good stuff.
Should have got them digits.
I know.
Like, I don't have any crack now.
Maybe I can find you
Yeah.
some since you
Yo.
said I'm sexy.
Could have been like Matthew McConaughey. He's like, say, man, you got a joint on you.
Be a lot cooler if you did.
Yep.
No, man, be a lot cooler if you did. The funny part about that is like that was one of Matthew McConaughey's first movies.
Oh, yeah.
and
He'd
you,
never been in anything before
you like look at that and but
They-
it's so him.
that. They were like, he met the director at like a bar or something like that. And somebody
So
said-
him.
somebody told him like, hey, you should go talk to that guy, sort of thing.
Because
And
he
it just-
he
it
is
was
that
just so
character.
perfect. Yeah. It's so good. I love that movie.
So we're talking about Dazed and Confused, if you don't know. And if you
Yeah.
haven't seen it, it is a classic. Dylan,
Mhm.
have you seen it?
Nope.
Oh,
So
well,
it
you
also
might want
teaches
to.
you the fact that Martha Washington was in fact
A
hip
hip
lady,
lady.
man.
Yes, she was. And you'll find out why.
Grew fields of it, man.
She grew fields of it. Yeah, she was a hip lady.
Hip,
You need to go home and
hip
watch
lady.
Dazed and Confused. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then be like, why is it my high school like this?
I know.
Why does nobody drive?
Why is the last day of school not this much fun?
Yeah, you're a senior now. You're not.
You need to
It's
watch
not-
Dazed and
it's
Confused
not so good
you
for
can,
freshmen, but
yeah, so you can make your senior year just
Yeah.
as fun.
mm-hmm.
I've never even heard of that before.
Oh, you need to go watch it.
Yep.
It's great. But there's a lot of stuff we can't repeat. But no, it's a really fun movie. But yeah, Matthew McConaughey in Dazed and Confused is great. Because you just see his like personality coming out.
All right.
All right.
Say, I
I've heard
think
of that. I've heard of all
you've heard that.
Yeah.
Say, I
What I
think
like
you
about
oughta.
them high school girls. I get older, they stay the same
Same
age. Yes, they do.
That's what that one guy that flew across the country thought about high school girls.
Right. Flew all the way to Jackson,
Yeah,
Ohio.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't do that.
I'd say is he still in the Jackson County Correctional
I mean,
Facility?
I'd say he's in some correctional facility somewhere. Okay, here's
So you're right.
speaking of correctional
Okay.
facilities, Dylan thinks Illinois is going to institute a purge. Have you heard about this?
What?
Yeah, it's an article online called The Safety Effect. I have no idea what it actually is. All I know is what I've heard about it.
Yeah.
Supposedly, like a lot of the laws you're not going to be able to be punished for. Like there's a 48-hour wait before they can punish you, which gives you 48 hours to flee the area. So you can do pretty much
So
any
what it
crime.
really is they're testing doing away with cash bail. And they will arrest you and they will charge you. They would just release you without cash bail is what it really is. But people on the
What?
internet are freaking out thinking it's the purge.
It's a purge.
Yeah.
Supposedly it's like trending on TikTok or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that's what I've heard it was going to be. But James, what he heard sounds a lot more reasonable.
Well, I didn't hear it. I read
Oh,
a news
yeah,
article
what do you
online.
read?
Well, so basically, I understand what they're doing. They're trying to keep people out of keeping the jail space
Right.
for
right.
bad stuff.
Yeah.
So basically, if you do something stupid, they're going to arrest you and then let you go, but then you have to come back to court whenever.
Yeah,
and
without-
face the consequences.
Yeah,
still,
you just don't have to pay bail is what it is.
Yeah. So okay.
But people are freaking out saying it's the purge. because
For the love of
because
God,
it's like
really?
a 2-week window that they're like testing it or whatever.
Oh.
So it's
So basically,
it's the
they're saying you
purge.
can like go shoot somebody, which I
Right.
don't think is probably going to happen. If you shot someone, I'm
You're
guessing that
probably
they're going to keep you.
You're probably staying in jail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so that's what people are thinking. Well, you can just go do whatever you want, and then you're not going to go to
Right.
get in trouble for it.
Right.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. No.
So one question I have though is, I don't know a whole lot about bail. I understand, you pay and then you leave for a while.
Mhm.
So
Sure.
like, does the money go towards the police? Like, does it go towards the police department, or is that money just like kept?
I don't know where bail money does end up.
The safety effect is going to defund the police in that area. So if the bail money goes towards the police officers, that would explain why they're saying they're defunding the police.
Yeah, I mean, I think, that would be interesting to get like Mark Music or somebody in and ask them that question. But I think that, bail money certainly would go toward, and fines and things go to running the courts.
Yeah, that would explain a lot of the rumors that are spreading around, like, oh, they're going to get rid of the police. The whole purge is going to happen.
Dude, people are crazy.
Wow.
People are straight crazy.
Even if I read that article, that would not be where my mind went.
Dude, I'm guessing some websites are writing articles saying it, but yeah, I had a casual conversation with an employee at a store the other day, and she like asked me a question. She's like, "Well, I heard on TikTok," and I was like, "Honey, you got to stop getting your news from TikTok."
Do people really do that? Oh my gosh.
Like, if they are not like citing sources.
I saw it on TikTok. It must be true.
Yeah, it must be true.
Well, apparently TikTok is creating their own trend. I heard it from TikTok. Like, I learned it from TikTok.
Yeah.
So I guess a lot of people are just getting educated by TikTok now.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Off topic, but speaking of TikTok, have you watched Welcome to Wrexham on Hulu? So it's Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney, who plays Mac on Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Is it a show or
a documentary.
That's where they buy
a Welsh soccer club.
Yes.
And it's a documentary about them.
Need to watch that.
It's really good. It's like 4 or 5 episodes in.
Okay.
And it's set in Wales, so I'm like eating that up.
Yes, for sure.
Even though this is pretty far from where I was, but still.
And Ryan Reynolds is hilarious anyway.
But so it's about Ryan Reynolds, the actor, and Mac from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
But it's like really true. It's like a real life Ted Lasso thing.
Yeah, it's a real life Ted Lasso story. So they buy sort of a last place team with the thought process, like if this has ownership that cares about it and gives it TLC and the funding that it needs, can this last place team advance? Yeah. And it's
like Major League.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. But it's pretty fun.
Okay, so I have to watch that. We're still finishing up Better Call Saul. So
I have not watched that.
Okay,
yet.
so
I need to.
Yeah, you watch it?
Yeah, I watched
So
it.
I don't want to hear any spoilers.
I think we're on episode 9 of the last season, and I don't know how many there are. I'm guessing 12 or something like that. So once we get done with that, it's like then we'll move on because it's like. Well, Cobra Kai's back.
Cobra Kai is back. Awesome. I watched a couple episodes of that.
Have you? Yeah. Is it just as ridiculous as the other ones?
It's pretty ridiculous. It's pretty much right off the bat. There's like a drug kingpin now.
No.
There's even more karate people. It's like super dramatic.
I'm trying to remember how the last one ended.
Cleese goes to jail, and the guy with the ponytail takes over Cobra Kai. Yeah, spoilers.
Okay.
And Miguel leaves. Like he goes off.
Yeah, and Miguel goes off to find his dad, which, spoiler alert, is a Mexican drug lord.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay, I'm getting it. I'm yeah.
But yeah, it's good. It's everything you've come to love, I think.
Okay, good. Have you watched the whole season?
No, I made it to. Well, I'm not going to say, but I'm about maybe 4 episodes in.
Okay. All right. Very good.
It's pretty good.
All right. So we'll probably go there next or somewhere around there.
Yeah.
So, and it was funny. We stayed in an Airbnb the first night on our trip, and they didn't have, a lot of TV options, but they had Hulu.
Yeah.
And so Jamie and I just started watching episodes of The Bear again.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
so good.
Speaking of TV, I want your opinion on this.
Okay.
And Dylan, I want your opinion too.
All right.
I'm getting ready to upgrade or whatever, my internet connection, whatever.
Uh-huh.
And I'm debating, do I want to sign up for cable television or do I just want to keep doing internet? Is it worth $50 a month to have cable television?
It's so funny that you asked that because when we were down at the lake, my aunt and Jamie and I had this exact conversation, because they have cable right now. And she's like, I'm thinking about pulling the plug on that and going, but she's like, I just don't know if I just want to go direct to streaming, but I just don't know about that. So she's like, what about YouTube? Do you know about YouTube TV? And I was like, I think YouTube TV is like a really good middle of the road between,
so the problem,
a lot of cable.
The problem with Hulu TV, YouTube TV, whatever, is the only thing that I would watch on live TV is sports.
Sure.
And those don't get your regional sports stations. You're not going to get Reds games and stuff like that on Hulu and stuff
YouTube
like that.
has Big Ten Network. I know that.
Which that's fine, but the Ohio State game sometimes that's on Big Ten Network, but normally they're on a like Fox or whatever.
Right, but you get those.
Yeah, you would get those, but like the Bally Sports, where like the Reds and the the Guardians, Indians, like you wouldn't get those.
They'll
stations.
always be the Indians.
I know.
We'll never get past it.
I understand why you changed the name.
But we'll never get past it.
It's going to be hard to break that. But yeah, so stuff like that. That's the question. So Dylan, what do you think? Do you ever watch cable TV?
I never watched it. I mainly watch like Disney Plus, Hulu, stuff like that. So I would go for the Hulu live TV bundle with Disney Plus and Hulu. And
but see, that's just as
like that.
Well, yeah. So that's another thing. Those bundles.
They get you that way too.
Yeah, they get you that way, but is it worth it?
If you like sports and stuff, I think HBO Max is about to become like Discovery Plus and stuff like that. So I think they're getting sports channels on HBO.
But it's really just the Reds is really the only thing I'm really interested in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they show those games on those regional networks.
Would that be a separate thing that you could subscribe to?
I don't think so. I mean, hopefully someday.
I mean, you could just go like old style and just like put like an antenna on the roof.
I don't know if I don't think that would get it, but it might. I don't know.
I can pick up at my house all the Huntington stations with like a small antenna. Yeah. Like one of those little rubber ducky antennas. But that doesn't get you the Columbus stations. It just gets you the Huntington stations. But so I can't make the decision because I don't have enough internet power at my house to do streaming TV. So as you well know.
So, but anyone listening, let me know. Cutting the cord, online only, cable, is it worth it? At what price does it stop being worth it?
And the problem is too, do you get yourself into, I know with YouTube you can cancel anytime, right? So you could try it. I think they even have a free month trial or whatever. But some of those, cable and dish and all that, you get into a 2-year contract and then you're what?
Yeah, you're stuck into it.
Yeah,
stuck. And our good friends at Spectrum, they give you these good prices for 12 months.
Sure.
And then
it goes through the roof.
Yeah, and they don't tell you about it.
Right.
Because if you got that stuff on auto pay,
you just don't notice it.
You just don't notice it.
Or you do, but you're like stuck, so whatever.
Yeah, there's not much you can do.
I do like the streaming services for that because, like, for example,
But they raised their prices too. I mean, Netflix has raised their prices in the last year. Yeah.
Sure. But you can always cancel. So, like, if you say there's just one TV series that you want to watch on one of them, you can get it for a month and then cancel it if you can remember to do it.
Well, then
which is a whole other story.
Yeah, then it becomes a pain in the butt. Like, gosh, how many of these do I even freaking have? I got Peacock, HBO, Netflix, Prime. It's like, well, Prime's you only pay once a year, and it includes all this stuff.
Right.
And then it's like, but this one's every So
but I get
keeping track of all that
is that like they keep getting more of their content pulled for other streaming services, and their prices just keep going up.
Talking about Netflix?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
they'll lose a TV show, and then suddenly their price goes up.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
they're just stuck.
Yeah.
in
Well,
this
Netflix was
cycle.
the only player in that game, and now everybody's doing
Yeah.
it. And they were operating without competition, really. Cable TV was their competition, which
Right.
wasn't really competition.
And
'cause it was-
Blockbuster, which
Yeah, and Blockbuster. And they
yeah.
bested
Sure.
those guys, but now they have direct competition.
So here's my trouble with all
Yeah.
of that. I have to literally sit there and think, how do I get to which one of the things do I have to turn on to get to whatever show? And it's like it's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like Better Call Saul, I recorded the last season. Well, for some reason, the last season didn't. The first half of the season was not on my dish. The second half was.
Yeah.
So I had to go and buy it on Amazon.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there at night like, okay. But I couldn't remember where I bought it from. So I'm like,
Yeah.
this is so confusing.
So I was going through and kind of taking note of all these different streaming services.
Yeah.
And so some of them is like HBO, like that's like through your cable subscription. I mean, you can sign up for it separately.
You can.
But if you have a regular HBO, you also get the app.
Correct.
I don't
And
pay
then-
for HBO Max, it's free.
Yeah. And then so like Dylan said, like you can do these bundles where you're paying for like 3 of them together. You can also subscribe through Apple or through Amazon or
correct.
Or like if you have Roku devices, you can subscribe through Roku.
Uh-huh.
So you're paying Apple, you're not paying Peacock, you're paying Apple.
Yes.
So then it's like, well, do I manage that subscription through Apple or do I manage that subscription through Peacock? And
correct.
it's easy to like lose track of all this stuff.
Very much
Yeah.
so. And I'm just it's just really hard.
It is.
One streaming service no one ever pays attention to is Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
They also have live TV and they have a lot of originals, and a lot of the shows you can't find anywhere anymore is right there.
You know what-
really?
You know what
Okay.
else Paramount Plus has?
Yeah, Yellowstone.
Beavis and Butthead reboots.
And they have Beavis and Butthead.
Beavis and Butthead are back, baby.
Whoop, whoop.
Also, let us know if you've watched any of the new Beavis and Butthead.
Yes,
because
let
it
us
is
know.
not missed a beat. It's
'Cause-
hilarious.
Yeah, I can't wait to go. So now I'm going to have to subscribe to Paramount
Yeah.
Plus. Thanks a lot, guys.
I heard it's really buggy. I don't know if that's true or not. Hulu was really buggy for a while, but it seems fine now.
Okay.
But the other Beavis and Butthead, I was telling you about the one with the dumpster fire.
Yes.
The other Beavis and Butthead new episode I watched was they do an escape room.
Oh,
And
no.
so the guy tells them like, go down the hallway to the left to enter the escape room, and they're too dumb to know the difference between left and right.
Yeah.
So they turn right and they go into the bathroom and they think the bathroom is the escape room. And they destroy the bathroom trying to get out of it, even though they're not locked in.
That is
They're just too
awesome.
dumb to realize it.
Oh my God, that's so Beavis and
It's
Butthead.
amazing. It's so funny.
One thing
So
I always
funny.
thought was weird about Beavis and Butthead is they literally met their dads in a movie and didn't know it was their dads.
Yeah. Played by Nicolas Cage and
Yeah.
Tom Cruise?
I don't know.
So Nicolas Cage and someone, I forget. But yeah. Beavis and Butthead are great.
They are, and it cracks me up because we're sitting here with a senior in high school, and
Yeah.
like we're all dying, and we're so different generations, but like we're all like cracking up about
Yeah.
it because it's so still
Yeah.
it's carried on.
The other thing, so you know how like back in the day, Beavis and Butthead watched music videos?
Uh-huh.
Well, now it's like them watching like TikTok videos and stuff like that and making fun of them.
That's awesome.
Dude, it just doesn't miss a beat.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Mike Judge he's so funny.
Wouldn't
so
you like
smart.
to like have a day in the life of that brain,
Oh, yeah. His
or like the
brain-
South Park guys, or
Yeah.
whatever? Like
Oh, South Park, they're still going.
you're
Like,
just
Beavis
sick.
and
They're
Butthead died and came back, and South Park is still here.
it's it never went away.
Yeah.
And how they get away with the stuff they get away with, I will never know. They are
Yeah.
so completely inappropriate.
I don't know.
Like nothing's off limits to
That's
them.
true. It's true.
So yeah, no, I think it's great, and I love that it's like multi-generational now.
Yeah.
Just come through time.
Yeah. Good stuff.
So-
Well, let us know,
Yeah,
cutting
let
the
us
cable
know.
or not,
Yeah,
whether or not you're pro Beavis and Butthead,
right.
or what's your favorite streaming service?
Correct.
or you just hate it all and you only watch Main Street TV.
That's right. And if you want to do that, that's fine too.
Yeah.
We're happy about that. But we yeah, I don't know. And it is hard to know because you think, well, I'll just cancel Netflix and then some show will come on and you're like,
Yeah.
dang it, I can't
Mhm.
cancel Netflix because
Yeah.
I want to watch
Gotta
that
watch
show.
Cobra Kai.
Yes. Or Hulu or whatever. I'm like, have you watched that one on Hulu about the apartment building where it's like,
Only Murders in the
yeah.
Building?
Have you
About
watched
the
that?
Yeah, it's great.
Okay. Because I've heard, like, people have told me to watch that, but I haven't watched
Yeah,
that
it's
one
great.
yet either.
Yeah, it's really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And can you watch, like, can I watch Hulu on my phone?
Yeah.
Okay. You're laughing at me, aren't you? Well, because I don't have
The people that can't figure out how to watch Main Street TV and the host is over here. Can I watch Hulu on my phone?
Well, no, because my TV where I work out isn't a smart TV, so I was just wondering if I could pull it up on my phone
just
to watch that.
Yeah, just download the app.
Show. Okay.
Sign in with however you sign in.
Okay, same thing then. Yeah. Okay, cool. Now you learn something new every day. Don't you shake your head at me, mister.
We can watch Hulu on this. We could just sit here and watch Only Murders in the Building instead of doing a show.
Okay.
More people would probably watch if our show just became a bootleg Hulu show.
Probably.
Yeah, we'd get booted from YouTube, but that's okay.
Hey, by the way, don't forget Jackson Apple Festival coming up on the streets of downtown Jackson next week.
Making that apple butter.
That's right. And they will start, I believe, shutting down the streets on Saturday morning is typically when they start doing that. So
okay.
Just Jackson's easy. It's in a grid. So if you run into somebody and that street's closed, you just go down one and go around. It's fine.
Yeah.
So, yeah, not a problem. But we look forward to it.
Don't get mad.
No, because it's fun.
Yeah.
And we'll be down there some. Don't know when. We don't know what we're doing. We're just we'll go down and.
I know what I'm doing. I'm eating mushrooms. I'm eating
I know.
pizza rolls. I'm eating
all of that.
veal,
Chicken and noodles. All of that. Yeah. So Jamie and I just started this new diet on Monday, and I'm like,
are pizza rolls and fried mushrooms on that diet?
there is nothing at the Apple Festival on our diet. And I'm like, well, everything in moderation. We're going to have to cheat one. I'm going to have to cheat once.
You get a corn dog and just like hold the dog. Just give me the stick.
Yeah.
Just lick a piece of stick.
What's Jen doing? Oh, she's just sniffing
Licking
a corn dog stick.
dog.
Yeah.
All right. We got to get out of here.
Gotta get out of here.
Get to class.
That's right. And thank you to Mayor Charlie Hudson for stopping by today. We always love having him here. And if anybody else wants to come in, any of our other local municipalities, give us a ring and or shout out, and we'll be happy to have you here. So.
Yeah.
All right. Guests all this week. So we have a lot of great things for you coming up. So have a wonderful day, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow.
Bye, guys.
Bye.